Camila, hey, how's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So you must be so excited. Your show just premiered.
I know, I'm so excited.
For the world of Naomi. Like, are you really gravitated towards this material? Did you have like a favorite superhero growing up?
Honestly, this is very new to me. I think I immediately after I read the comic book Naomi, I started reading it when I found out I had an audition for it, and it's honestly my favorite. It's so good. It's so different from any story that I've seen before. And I just root for the main character. I just root for her, and I want her to do well and to be happy and succeed in everything that she does.
Mm-hmm. So for maybe those who don't know, who haven't seen the first few episodes like me or in it, what is it about Naomi? Can you describe a little bit about the show? What is it of? Because it's cool. It's like no show I don't think I've ever seen. Definitely not like any superhero show I've seen. What is it about the show? Tell me a little bit about it. Let's get into the world.
Definitely. I think what's so great about our show is that it's mostly a coming of age story. Mm. So it's good in the sense that everyone can relate to it. I mean, everyone has grown up, or is growing up. And I think that's very beautiful to watch this young Black girl go through her regular life experiences, but also have this other thing that's larger than life that she's also dealing with. So that's amazing to watch.
Where do you fit in? Where does Lourdes fit in?
I mean, Lourdes is one of Naomi's friends, and she's always up for adventure and always up for the ride. And I love that about her.
I keep hearing Scooby Gang, right? You're kind of like the Scooby Gang.
Oh my God, I love that so much because we call ourselves that as well before even like when we started. Definitely, it definitely has that vibe of like these young people getting together and going out for adventures and investigating different things. So it's definitely very on point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you? Because you had a watch party for the first episode already, and it seems like, you haven't even approached this on the show, but it seems like you have a bit of a crossover already because Stargirl attended your watch party. So what's going on there?
I mean, I can't speak on crossovers, but yeah, I met Breck and she's wonderful. She's amazing. And it's been amazing to like get to, share the space with someone who's gone through this experience before.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was so much fun and so exciting.
Yeah, I had a chance to interview Breck a couple of years ago and she's awesome.
She's the best.
Yeah. So what's it like for you when you're watching your show for what did you see on your show? What's the experience like about watching your show while being in your show?
Oh my God, it's amazing. First of all, like I get so excited about, like I already said, like I get excited about the very little things. So when I saw my name on the credits, I was like, oh my God, that's my name, that's me. So even that is very exciting. And, watching, it's very different when you work on something, when you are in the scene, doing the scene, and then when you see the actual takes that they chose and how the take looks and the angle of the camera that they use, it's just fascinating. And I feel very lucky to get to experience this firsthand.
What kind of immersion is it like for you? You don't look exactly the same right now. You've got your purple hair on the show. So what is it like, the immersion into Lord? Like, how do you feel? Like you said you're very, very different than the character. But how do you feel like? Do you feel like her? Do you feel like it's an immersion?
I think definitely. I think we are very different in many ways. I always say I consider myself to be pretty secure of myself. Obviously, we all have insecurities, but I think Lourdes takes self-assurance to a whole nother level. And that was something that's very interesting to explore, in another human being, to see this young woman who's really not afraid to say to the world, this is who I am. I'm very different from everyone else, and I'm not afraid of that, and I'm not ashamed of that. And I think that's very empowering for young women as well out there. In terms of physically, it's so much fun to get to wear her clothes and wear this purple hair with such cool pizzazz and grace.
Like, do you feel more confident when you're stepping into her skin?
I think so. Yes. She gives me permission, I like to say, to be cool.
Mm. Somebody else I had a chance to interview, this was even further back, was Ava DuVernay. What's it like? I mean, to have her do a superhero show, it really contributes to the fact that it doesn't feel like anything else before. What's it like to have her as your team leader?
Wow, it's amazing. I always feel like I never have enough words to describe how amazing it is. So I always, like, whenever someone asks me this question, I'm like, wow, it's incredible to be able to work with her. She's really the best. And I love the fact that everything she does is different from anything else she's done, you know? And getting to have her as a leader is wonderful. And she's very hands-on with everything, when it comes to costumes, to her hair, to my hair, to everything. She's really on top of everything, and she likes to be involved in every single aspect of what goes on. So it's been amazing. And on top of that, she's so kind and warm and welcoming. And, you know, having this be my first experience, a lot of the times I'm like, it's very new. Everything is very new. And just, she was very, you know, she's very good at grounding me, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. So what's that experience like? Because, you know, this is like basically your first gig. You have a lot of people involved in the project, though, that have been doing this for a while, been in the game for a while. But then again, you have someone like Kaci, who's sort of brand new, basically, you know, her first big role. What's it like working with her?
She's wonderful. I admire everyone in my cast, honestly. But Kaci is just incredible. She's so professional, and she's able to step into very, you know, intense situations very quickly and with such grace. And she's always very, you know, aware of everything and everyone around her. And she's so kind, and she makes everyone feel seen, which I think is beautiful when you have so much, you know, to carry on your shoulders with a show like this.
Mm-hmm. I want to hear more about you. You know, when I'm reading about your backstory, it's fascinating, but I want to hear it from you. I want to hear it from the source. So, you know, what was it about acting, you know, getting into the game? It just became like your life, you know, that's something that you really, really wanted to pursue. Where did the click come in for you? Where did you really get the acting bug from?
Wow, I've been wanting to be an actor since I was very young. So I was like in the 4th grade. And it's very funny because I still am, but I was very shy as a child. Mm-hmm. I still am kind of shy, but I've, you know, grown from it a little bit. But it was very surprising to my parents that I said that I wanted to act, because it was hard for me to like speak in public and things like that. But I think I found a certain empowerment in being able to stand up in front of people and speak and use my voice, my actual voice, and stand in my 2 feet in my body and be able to speak, even though they were my words. It was just amazing, a great challenge that I think I took on from a very young age, and I fell in love with it.
So it's interesting the way that you describe your show, because you say it's not quite like a superhero show, it's like a coming of age, or maybe both. So what do you think in terms of the show, based on, you know, what we've seen from the first episode and what you know is coming up that maybe you haven't filmed yet? What's something that you're excited to see? What's something you're excited for an audience to see?
I'm excited for the surprises. Yeah. I'm excited for people to find out more about these characters. I'm excited. I'm very eager for people to see the show and every aspect of it. I mean, it's a very different show from anything I've seen before, at least. And what can I say? It's just a good show that I've said excited like 100 times, but it's true. I'm excited.
I'm really interested because, Naomi, Casey's giving a speech in the pilot, and she looks out into the audience, and there's a lot of beaming faces coming back at her, three specifically, one of them being yours. I mean, that's practically our introduction, that you seem to have a real affinity for her. So, how do you think that's going to play out?
I think Lourdes and Naomi have a lot in common. I think because they're so confident in what they have to give to the world and to their friends, I think there's an affinity there because of that. And also they both love comic books. So I think it's perfect.
What was it like to have that first episode? What's the reaction been like? I've been trying to look at, through your Instagram, for example, just how people are responding to it. Do you have a sense yet? Did you get any feedback, reaction?
I mean, I think it's been wonderful. I think, me coming from Puerto Rico, I'm born and raised in Puerto Rico, I think they're very excited to see a fellow Boricua on the screen.
Yeah.
So that alone has been wonderful to be able to, represent my island in such a positive way. Has been amazing. And overall, it's been great. I've gotten so many nice messages from people that are really excited for me. And, that is very inspiring. It makes me want to do more and be better every day.
What's that like for you? Do you play that aspect up? How is it like? How does it feel in a show like this to see that level of representation on screen?
Wow. It's honestly an honor to be able to be part of a show that's so diverse, both in cast, in story, and in crew. It's been wonderful. I think representation does matter a lot. I would have loved to have seen a show like this growing up, because every child, I think, deserves to see themselves represented on screen. I think it helps them dream bigger. I think it helps them, envision beautiful things for themselves. And I think that's wonderful.
So I got to ask you then, what were some of the shows that maybe inspired you? What have you enjoyed watching? I mean, even recently, what everybody's going to be watching Naomi. What's something that you really enjoyed watching?
Wow. I mean, there's so many things. Like whenever sometimes people ask me this, I sort of blank out, but recently I watched Landscapers, which was incredible. So good. Such a beautiful story. Very moving. What else? I'm watching Insecure right now, which is so good. It's so good. And yeah, I'm always trying to watch different things that, inspire me and move me. And also like I everything I watch, I try to watch with an eye for learning,
That seems to be the common point, when I'm reading about you, when I'm seeing you always want to know more about the craft of acting.
Yeah.
So what are some of those skills? What are some of the things that maybe you haven't had a chance to do yet on screen that you'd really like to do?
Oh, that's so funny because I was speaking to my friend the other day about this. For some reason, I've always been drawn. I've always wanted to play a boxer. And I don't box in real life. Boxing is a huge part of the Puerto Rican culture. But I think being able to stand in that power as a woman and then literal physical power would be incredible to embody.
What do you think of the physicality of a show like this? Maybe, I don't know if you've had a chance to maybe show off some of that physicality yet. It doesn't seem like, but it still does, You seem to move very different on the show. You seem to act very different. What's that like for you?
It's wonderful. Like I said, I feel like Lourdes gives me permission to be somebody completely different without judgment. And I love that liberty. And I love living in that space because it's so different from me. And I get to explore that. And also it helps me grow as a human, I feel. I don't have to be one thing. I can literally be anything I want, whenever I want. And that's part of growing as a human, I think.
And I have to ask you about this because I read it and I wasn't quite even sure what it meant, but you're making mosaics on set, your mosaics. What does that mean? How does that work?
I mean, I'm not on set, but it's one of my hobbies. I really like visual arts, and
Okay.
I learned how to make mosaics when I was in school.
Right.
And I've really adopted that form of art, and I really, really enjoy it. Like, especially whenever I'm back home in Puerto Rico, I always buy a piece of wood and glass and start creating something new.
It's been such a pleasure speaking to you, hearing from you.
Thank you so much.
You've been really wonderful. It's been so amazing to hear about you, to hear about and you know what? I'm really hooked on the show. I can't wait to see where it goes. You've dropped a lot of hints about what's to come. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the Scooby Gang, and I want to see all the action there. And I wish you really the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I really hope that you keep enjoying the show.
I'm really enjoying the show, really enjoying you on this show. You did amazing. Thank you.
Thanks.